Hey everybody, this is Atticus the Death Meddler, and oh boy, we got some shit to talk about here, folks. And no, I am not talking about the Third World War raging on between Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly, and of the like. I can't name all of them. I'm not talking about Colin Kaepernick and how he triggered the fuck out of conservatives a third time being sponsored by Nike. No, I'm not talking about that shit. And I am not talking about the impending doom that is Hurricane Florence. And to anyone that is living in North Carolina, I hope that all of you stay safe. You know, just be prepared. The most important thing is that you're safe with you and your family. That is much more important. But we're going to be talking about something that is absolutely, that has been on my mind for some time, and there has been such a rage about it. I'm of course talking about the recent information in regards to the new Netflix series of The Witcher. Now, it is no stranger that I possess this lovely thing right here. Pretty much one of the best games that I own and have played for a long time. I'm not saying it is the greatest game of all time, but it is considered one of the best games ever. Hands fucking down. So I know most of you normies are gonna be around going, Atticus the Death Meddler, what the fuck is a Witcher? Witchers are apparently like this. You know how you have to hire pest control in order to get rid of cockroaches, termites, and rats that are infesting into your house? Well, Witchers are like that, but instead of getting rid of cockroaches, termites, ants, all those vermin that infest your house, they specialize in killing monsters. A little bit of scenario right here. You have a village and your children are being attacked by drowners. Call a Witcher. Griffin is eating up your livestock. Call a Witcher. Werewolves are attacking your village at night. Call a Witcher. Prank invasion going around in the village kissing all of your village girls? Witcher. I had to fucking do that. I could not resist. But with all of the Witchers, there is one Witcher in particular that is the most famous. I'm of course talking about Geralt of Rivia. So I'm going to be discussing onto two things that have happened in regards to the upcoming Netflix series of The Witcher. Now, ever since that there was rumors that there was going to be a Netflix series on The Witcher and that it was announced, Witcher fans couldn't help but to be excited that who is going to play as Geralt of Rivia? Who is going to play the legendary White Wolf? So, a lot of people turned over to popular picks whom were of these two people, Mads Mikkelsen and Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who is known for playing Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones. I mean, come on. Like, in Season 2 and Season 3 of Game of Thrones, he rocked that look of Geralt. I mean, the dude would have been perfect for Geralt. But, as of last week, they have made their choice. And it turns out that the actor who will play Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf, is Henry Cavill.
What? Your Grace, Your Eminence.
Or Cavill. Or I'm gonna call him Cavill. So essentially, a lot of people, including a lot of my friends who were fans of The Witcher, were naturally pissed off about it. And, you know, I kind of agreed. Personally, for me, like, even though Mads Mikkelsen and Nikolaj Waldau would have been excellent picks for Geralt of Rivia, personally for me, Viggo Mortensen, but goddamn has the last decade fucked him over like that. Cause my god, he would have been perfect! Why? A lot of people were really upset about this, you know, really just not really that happy about that. Personally, for me, I really don't mind about this. I'm one of the few minority of people who thinks this, but as I've done my research, it turns out that they really chose well onto Henry. Now let me try to explain here. Apparently I was going through watching a couple videos onto some Witcher fans, and I came across this tweet, which is by Lauren S. Hisrich, who is apparently the head of, the production of The Witcher. She tweeted, "He was my first meeting. I didn't have writers or scripts yet, just a green light and a lot of passion. That was 4 months ago, and I've never forgotten the passion he brought. He is Geralt. He always has been. I am so thrilled to welcome Henry Cavill to the Witcher family." Again, a lot of people were naturally not really satisfied, but for me, didn't really care that much. But I've done a little bit digging and discovered, this article, part of this article right here. It is explained here that Cavill had first publicly expressed interest in the part last month while doing press to promote his latest film, Mission Impossible Fallout, revealing himself as a fan of both the original fantasy novels by Andrzej Sapkowski and acclaimed video game adaptations by CD Projekt Red. The internet went wild with this news, even going as far to provide fan art for Cavill as the dark fantasy monster hunter. With this news right here, it is probably no stranger that Lauren chose Henry as a right pick, because this is a guy that obviously knows his stuff, he knows what he's doing, and he's actually a fan, which I'm pretty surprised. And I know a lot of people give shit on Henry Cavill with his portrayal of Superman, most notably in Man of Steel and Batman Superman, but from what I've heard onto his latest film, Mission Impossible Fallout, he's pretty decent, really good actor. He has a very diverse way into acting. So don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, fucking hell. Quentin Tarantino had Channing Tatum in The Hateful Eight, and he was at his A game right there. So, I mean, yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. Some really bad actors, when they're with a good director, actually turn out very well. So hopefully I can see that with Henry Cavill. Also, to a lot of you people that are still freaking out about this is going to be at the original source material where Geralt is not old and rugged. So that kind of made a lot of sense for me. But I am hoping that Henry does the part justice. But oh boy. Now, I was going to leave it at that with this video right here, but new information came out onto the Witcher series, and my expectations went, nice, this is gonna be awesome. Okay, I can deal with Henry Cavill. And that is the recent news involving a fan favorite, especially in the Wild Hunt, Ciri. And I think you know what I am talking about. Apparently, and get this people, Ciri is going to be casted as a different race. Yeah. That is going on right now. I find it so funny. Lauren, who is the head of, doing this thing for The Witcher, says we're gonna go by the original source material, we're gonna do it by the novels. Then you make Ciri as, a different race, and naturally, of course, all the Witcher fans that were just recovering from the news of Henry Cavill being Geralt of Rivia, let's just say it went wild. Absolutely fucking bonkers. And oh god, Jesus fucking Christ. And I know a lot of you people are gonna be saying this to me, but you know what? Just for the sake of this video, I am going to say this right now. I get the argument over whitewashing, especially due to the past century on how ancient Egypt was depicted, where all the Egyptians were a bunch of white people. I fucking get it, especially of the train wreck that is Gods of Egypt. I get the grievances and the anger on how Egyptians are portrayed in Hollywood. I get that. What's really funny is that, I have been playing Assassin's Creed Origins as of late, and they've depicted Egyptians absolutely accurate and fairly. Not to mention, yes, of course, Egyptians were like their own group, Eastern Mediterraneans, but also not to mention that Egyptians had interracial relationships with their neighbors down south. the Nubians. And during the times of Alexander the Great, I mean, they had interracial relationships with Greeks. I mean, fucking hell. The Ptolemy dynasty. Cleopatra was technically not Egyptian, but Greek. She was a descendant of one of Alexander the Great's generals of the Ptolemy King dynasty. I find it so funny that a video game can portray Egyptians fairly, and yet Hollywood films can't. But I'm getting way off topic here. But yes, the point that I'm trying to make here, whitewashing is bad, but then you go on with this POC washing going on around here. Also, get this, a little bit of an update here. Right after I shot a good portion of this video, this is like me doing this right now. I shit you not. The showrunner quits Twitter after the following backlash. Oh my god. This is just like what happened with Patrick Soderlund leaving EA and DICE. Well, you know what they say, get woke or go broke. But you know what's the ultimate Greek tragedy here about this whole thing going on? Is the fact that a lot of these fans of The Witcher, you know, saying, I'm going to boycott this, I'm not going to watch this. How dare they do this to Ciri, whom is an established character, especially in the novels that she's depicted as a white person. What's really sad about this is that a lot of these fans, the Witcher fan base, is going to be depicted as a bunch of bigoted racists. I don't think so. I don't think that a lot of these people are honestly racist and bigoted. A lot of these people are they just want, you know, a good show of a franchise they've invested a lot of time in, reading the novels, playing the games, doing cosplays, and, you know, making up their own lores about The Witcher. That's what all they want. All they want is, you know. And what's really fucked up about this is that it was given the ultimate cock tease that, oh, we're gonna go by the original source material, but we're gonna make Ciri into a different race. And then you're gonna spark all of this controversy right here. All this unneeded controversy right here. It's kind of like a certain video game that will be out in later this year, and my god, I am of course gonna be making a video on this. It's gonna be interesting. And that's the sad thing. That is the really tragic thing about this, because once later down the line, they're just going to depict, you know, the fan base of The Witcher as these, you know, alt-right racist bigots, just like how the response was onto Battlefield 5. It's so sad. It's really honestly that sad. And it's also really fucked up that with this cock tease going on, and where they're pretty much saying we're gonna go by the original source material, but no, we gotta do this because it's the current year already. Deal the fuck with it. Keep in mind, Netflix, like, you guys brought out Death Note last year, and a lot of people fucking hated it. Hated it. I've watched Death Note myself, and honestly, I would say the only two good things about the Netflix version of Death Note was William Dafoe and the guy who played L. And yes, I understand that L is originally Asian in the anime and manga of Death Note, but the dude did really good at his part. But you know what? I'm gonna take things a step further. I'm gonna be bringing up the two movies that
should not be named.
Yes, I am bringing up Dragon Ball Evolution and The Last Airbender. And my fucking god, were those movies terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Really terrible. Especially The Last Airbender. It was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who made, you know, some of the most greatest films. The Sixth Sense, unbreakable. And then he brought up this bullshit right here. My God. And let's not forget about the films Warcraft and of course Assassin's Creed, which, you know, I mean, every video game adapted film is gonna can, obviously. Warcraft was really good with the animation by Blizzard, but just the pacing and the scripts and the editing was just, it was so shitty. It was such shit. And I also heard that Assassin's Creed sucked as well, which really sucks because I do like the franchise of Assassin's Creed. Aside from all the bullshit, aside from Henry Cavill playing as Geralt of Rivia, aside from the news that Ciri will be casted as a different race, this is all the information that we got here. I'm of course super bummed over the news of Ciri. I am A-okay with Henry Cavill. I just hope that he really does do the role of Geralt of Rivia justice. That is all I can fucking hope. But overall, that is all the information we got, and we have to wait until more information about this comes, which I know a lot of people of the Witcher fan base are getting really uppity about, really just, you know, absolutely upset. I wouldn't say they're just getting triggered all of a sudden. They're just like really devastated that they're seeing a show about one of, you know, a really interesting franchise of like a monster slayer, you know, killing monsters and stuff for a profit. And you're getting this bullshit, like, you know, what's going on with Battlefield 5. I don't think these people are racist. I don't think these people are bigoted. I mean, most people who love the Witcher franchise are of different races, and I'm pretty sure they think the same way as I am. And to close on a funny note here, here's a little something off of my boy LongbeachGriffy. Take it from here.
What's next? A black Superman? Mexican Harry Potter? Asian Terminator? No fucking thank you.
Well, it's really about diversity.
Oh, yeah, diversity. Let's make Shaft white. Yeah, how's that for diversity? Foxy Brown, white. Let's reboot Boys in the Hood with an all-white cast.
Heavens no.
Exactly.
So, that is all I gotta say about this. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Metaler. Hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are in the description below. Keep it metal, and have an excellent and blessed day.
Torches of war under hatred sails, a whisper of doom on a weary breeze. Scorching the shores in a blazing trail, cinder and fume foul the air we breathe. Blood of fallen kings, blades of chaos.